Hi, welcome to the step-by-step tutorial on how to develop a digital portfolio for family and community medicine trainees. This is a three-part instructional video series brought to you by the Philippine Academy of Family Physicians and the Foundation for Family Medicine Educators. The first part is for the trainers, and we'll discuss how to create the Google folders of templates and how to share these to the trainees. The second part will describe the different templates and discuss how to input data. This is both for the trainers and the trainees. And the third and the last part will teach the trainees how to develop the e-portfolio. As a prerequisite, the trainer should have the following: a Gmail account, enough storage in the Google Drive, a shared Google folder of templates. Each training program will be shared a Google folder of templates. This folder contains the following: a Google Sheet of the summary of clinical cases, a Google Sheet of the summary of clinical procedures, a Google document for the trainees' learning plans, a Google document for the trainees' insights, a Google document for the mentors' notes, and a Google Site template for the e-portfolio. The Google Sheet of the summary of clinical cases is adapted to the tally sheets of clinical cases of the PAFP. This should be placed in the subpage of the e-portfolio. Instruct the trainees to update this regularly, with the number of clinical cases they've seen while in training. Similar to the summary of the clinical cases is the summary of procedures. Instruct the trainees that they must update the data of the numbers of clinical procedures they've completed. These two forms should be frequently checked by the mentor to know if the trainees are able to fulfill the required number of cases and procedures for the year level. The Google document for the trainees' learning plan is where the trainees should write their plans before the start of the training, before the start of the year level, and before the start of each rotations. Check if they were able to achieve their plans, identify the barriers, and address accordingly. Instruct the trainees to make a copy of this form for each rotation. At the end of each rotations, and at the end of each year level, ask the trainees to write down their insights, their learnings, and reflections, using this Google document. For both the learning plans and insights, the mentor should affix the signature and the date it was checked below the document, and can write their feedback if necessary. This Google document is for the mentor's notes. Mentors are encouraged to write down what transpires for every mentoring and coaching activities, as well as the progress of the trainees while in the program. Make a copy of the document, and use one for every mentor-mentee encounter. Have the trainee acknowledge that the mentoring or coaching session happened by affixing an electronic signature and the date at the bottom of the page. The e-portfolio is a pre-made template using the Google site. This template is for the trainees to provide contents and to develop throughout the training period. It is recommended that the training officers have an access to the links of all the published e-portfolios of the trainees. The mentors, on the other hand, is recommended to be a collaborator or editor of the e-portfolio. The template was designed based on the recommended minimum contents of the residence portfolio found in the PAFP website. Additional sections were added, however, such as pages for the sample patient charts and family charts, for these are often required during accreditation. It will be easier for the accreditors to review these charts if they are included in the e-portfolio. Always instruct the trainees to protect the patient's privacy by blurring the personal data of the charts that they will upload. Also added is the trainers section for the mentor's notes, and for the training officers to add link to trainees' grades and evaluation. The training institution, however, has the option to require more contents from the trainees, if deemed necessary for the training. The format of the e-portfolio can be modified by the training institution, if preferred. Now that you know the contents of the shared folder, let's create a copy for our training program and share these to our trainees. First, create a folder in your Google Drive. This is where we are going to save a copy of the templates shared to us. To create a folder, go to your Google Drive. Click this icon here. Select Folder. Name the folder with your institution. And click Create. Next, access the shared folder through this link. It will bring you to the contents of the shared folder. The folder should contain the 6 files mentioned previously. Copy the files and move them to the Google folder you created earlier. To copy, highlight the files, right-click, and choose Make a Copy. The files will be automatically copied to your Google Drive. Go to your Google Drive and check if the files you copied are complete. Now move them to the folder you created by highlighting the files and dragging them to the folder. Check if you successfully moved the files. You can rename the files, if you prefer. Now, change the share settings of your folder. To do this, right-click the folder, choose the share icon, and change the restrictions. Also choose Viewer or Commenter in the drop-down menu. Reminder: do not choose Editor in the option, or you will risk your files being accidentally edited or worse, deleted, by your trainees. Click Done to save the settings. You can now share the folder of templates to your trainees. Go to the folder, right-click, choose this icon, copy the link and share this to your trainees. You can also share the folder using this manner. Right-click, choose the share icon, and in the space provided, place the Gmail addresses of your trainees. Choose Viewer or Commenter in the drop-down menu. Again, do not choose Editor. Write a short note to your trainees. Then click Send. They will receive a notification inviting them to collaborate. Don't forget to remind the trainees of the following. We are done with the part 1 of this 3-part instructional videos. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to watch the part 2 of this series. We will discuss the templates and how to input contents. In part 3, we will learn how to edit, modify, and add contents to the e-portfolio.